Hey space explorers, welcome back to the channel. Ever wondered what it would be like to die on another planet? Today, we're taking a journey through the solar system to find out. From Mercury to Neptune, we'll see how each planet's extreme conditions would affect your body and ultimately, how you'd meet your fate. We've all seen the science fiction movies, but what does reality tell us about dying on another planet? Would it be quick, painful? What would the environment do to your body? Buckle up because we're about to explore the harsh realities of taking your last breath on another world. Grab your spacesuit and helmet. It's going to be a wild ride. Let's get started. Let's start with the closest planet to the Sun. Mercury. Mercury is a planet of extremes, not just in temperature swings. The Sun dominates the sky, baking the surface during the day and leaving it exposed to the cold vacuum of space at night. Imagine standing on Mercury's surface, if you could stand, that is. The first thing you'd notice is the lack of air. No atmosphere to scatter the sunlight. The sky would be black, even during the day, and the sun would blaze with fierce intensity. During the day, temperatures can soar to 800 degrees Fahrenheit, 430 degrees Celsius. You wouldn't just burn, you'd be instantly vaporized. But let's say you find a way to survive the scorching heat. Maybe you're hiding in the shadow of a crater, hoping for a little respite. When the sun sets, the temperature plummets to about minus 290 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 180 degrees Celsius. That's colder than the coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth. Without an atmosphere, you'd be exposed to the full brunt of the sun's radiation. Think about getting a sunburn on a sunny day at the beach. Now multiply that by 1,000,000. It would fry you from the inside out. And let's not forget about the micrometeoroids. These tiny bits of space debris are constantly bombarding the surface of Mercury, and without an atmosphere to slow them down, they pack a serious punch. All in all, Mercury is not a place you want to be caught dead on. Or alive, for that matter. Moving on from Mercury, we arrive at Venus, often called Earth's twin because of its similar size and composition. But don't let that fool you. Venus is more like Earth's evil twin. This planet is shrouded in a thick, toxic atmosphere that traps heat like a furnace. Imagine a world where the surface temperature hovers around 900 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 475 degrees Celsius, hot enough to melt lead. The atmospheric pressure on Venus is 90 times that of Earth. It's like being 3,000 feet under the ocean. You'd be crushed like a tin can before you could say, "Is it hot in here?" The air is mostly carbon dioxide with clouds of sulfuric acid. That's right, sulfuric acid rain. The winds on Venus can reach speeds of up to 220 miles per hour, that's 350 kilometers per hour, whipping around the planet faster than a hurricane. So, even if you found a way to float in the upper atmosphere, you'd be caught in a perpetual hurricane of sulfuric acid. It's enough to make you appreciate the relatively balmy conditions here on Earth, right? Next up is Mars, the red planet, a favorite destination for science fiction writers and our own space exploration dreams. But while Mars may hold the potential for life, it's also a deadly place for humans. First off, Mars is cold, really cold. The average temperature is about minus 80 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about minus 62 degrees Celsius. And because the atmosphere is so thin, about 1% the density of Earth's, there's no protection from the sun's radiation, so you'd be freezing and getting a sunburn at the same time. The Martian atmosphere is mostly carbon dioxide with just a tiny amount of oxygen. So unless you plan on bringing your own oxygen supply, you're not going to last very long. You'd suffocate in minutes. Mars is also known for its dust storms, and these aren't your average dust devils. These storms can engulf the entire planet, lasting for months at a time. The dust is fine like talcum powder and gets everywhere, clogging up machinery and even ripping through spacesuits. And did I mention the low gravity? Mars has about 38% the gravity of Earth, so while you might feel lighter, your bones and muscles would start to deteriorate over time. Chapter 4, Jupiter, King of the Gas Giants. Now we're moving on to the big leagues, the gas giants, starting with the king itself, Jupiter. Jupiter doesn't have a solid surface like Earth or Mars. It's a giant ball of gas, mostly hydrogen and helium. So landing on Jupiter is kind of like landing on a cloud, only this cloud is the size of over 1,300 Earths. But let's say you could survive the initial plunge into Jupiter's atmosphere. The pressure inside Jupiter is so intense that it can crush hydrogen gas into a metallic liquid. Imagine what it would do to a human body. Jupiter is also home to some of the most violent storms in the solar system. The Great Red Spot, a giant storm that's been raging for centuries, could swallow Earth whole. The winds inside this storm can reach speeds of over 400 miles per hour, that's 640 kilometers per hour. And if the pressure and the storms don't get you, the radiation will. Jupiter has an incredibly strong magnetic field which traps charged particles from the sun. Chapter 5, Saturn, the ring jewel with a deadly secret. Next, we journey to Saturn, the ring jewel of our solar system. Saturn is another gas giant, so just like Jupiter, there's no solid surface to speak of. But Saturn has a few deadly tricks up its sleeve, or should I say rings. Saturn's rings are made up of billions of particles of ice and rock, ranging in size from tiny grains of dust to chunks the size of houses. These particles are constantly colliding with each other, creating a sort of ring-shaped demolition derby. If you were caught in the middle of that, it would be like being caught in a blizzard of rocks in space. Not a good way to go. But let's say you find a way to navigate through the rings. Saturn has a thick atmosphere composed mostly of hydrogen and helium. The deeper you go, the hotter and denser the atmosphere becomes. Eventually, you'd reach a point where the hydrogen gas becomes so hot and compressed that it acts like a liquid metal. And then, there's the wind. Saturn has some of the fastest winds in the solar system, reaching speeds of up to 1,100 miles per hour. That's about 1,800 kilometers per hour, near its equator. Chapter 6. Uranus and Neptune, the ice giants. Finally, we reach the outer edges of our solar system, home to the ice giants, Uranus and Neptune. These planets are often overlooked, but they're just as deadly as their larger siblings, Jupiter and Saturn. Uranus and Neptune are called ice giants because they're mostly made up of ices. Water ice, methane ice, and ammonia ice, all swirling around a small rocky core. But don't let the word ice fool you. These planets are anything but hospitable. Uranus holds the record for the coldest temperature ever measured in our solar system, a bone-chilling minus 371 degrees Fahrenheit. That's about minus 224 degrees Celsius. And Neptune isn't much warmer, with temperatures hovering around minus 353 degrees Fahrenheit, or minus 214 degrees Celsius. Uranus is home to massive storms that can rage for decades, and Neptune's winds are the fastest in the solar system, reaching speeds of over 1,200 miles per hour, or 1,930 kilometers per hour. And just to add insult to injury, both Uranus and Neptune have magnetic fields that trap charged particles from the sun, creating radiation belts that would be lethal to humans. So, even if you could survive the extreme cold, the crushing pressure, and the supersonic winds, the radiation would get you in the end. So you want to die on another planet? There you have it. The harsh, unrelenting realities of dying on every planet in our solar system. While space exploration is exciting, it's important to understand just how dangerous it is to venture beyond Earth. Each of these planets presents unique and terrifying challenges. But hey, at least we're not planning to head out there anytime soon, right? If you enjoyed this deep dive into the cosmos, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more. Stay curious, and I'll see you in the next video, Space Explorers.